And they say that almost 70% of everybody that they have interdicted said their ultimate destination was the state of Florida. So if you think that having a wide open border, 1,000 miles, 15, however far it was away, doesn't affect here, you're wrong.
In a show of extreme solidarity and leadership, Governor Ron DeSantis traveled to the forgotten about, porous, completely open southern border on the Texas-Mexico border. He went there with Greg Abbott and stood together to defy the Biden administration and to drop a load of bricks meant for the border wall construction that the Biden administration halted in an evil act, opening our country up to all manner of lawlessness and evil and human smuggling. And it was incredible to listen to DeSantis on the border. It's time for Republicans and all freedom-minded people to stand together and defy these people who want to destroy our country. Check out DeSantis doing just that. Good on you, sir.
Also like to just report Senator Simpson came with me on Saturday to the southern border. As many of you know, the governor of Texas had asked in June for support from other states, given the unprecedented influx that we're seeing on the southern border. The state of Florida had National Guards last year on a year deployment. That'll be ending in October, and that'll be re-upped. That's a federal mission. This was basically mutual aid from states, and I knew, having spoken with a lot of folks throughout the state of Florida, particularly our rural sheriffs, just how much the methamphetamine influx from the border is affecting these rural communities in particular. And sure enough, you're seeing unprecedented amounts of narcotics being brought across the border. So we knew that going in. We also knew that, unfortunately, there would be a lot of criminal aliens that would be coming across the border, some apprehended and released by the Biden administration, some not apprehended because they're not going to be able to catch, the state of Texas can't catch every single person. And sure enough, that's been a big problem. But the thing that I think, having been there, that I was most surprised about is we sent about 50 state law enforcement personnel. They've made over 2,000 apprehensions, over 100 felony arrests, and they say that almost 70% of everybody that they have interdicted said their ultimate destination was the state of Florida. So if you think that having wide open border, 1,000 miles, 15, however far it was away, doesn't affect here, you're wrong. And these folks are telling us, and these are not just people coming from Mexico, Mexican citizens. They've cataloged over 100 different countries of people that are coming through. So I think the word is out that the U.S. isn't going to defend its border. People are flooding in to try to get in. Obviously the narcotics, obviously the criminal activity and the criminal aliens, but just the sheer number of people, if you have a huge percentage that are going to try to come to Florida, and I think Biden is paying for tickets on buses and flying folks around, that's going to have a huge impact on community services, on education, on health care. It's going to affect taxpayers to a huge, huge extent. So the policy there needs to change. They need to reinstitute the Remain in Mexico policy. They need to stop inviting so many folks coming in from all over the world, really, illegally. That's not good policy. And I think if they just restored the pre-January 20th policies, I think it would turn around very quickly. That said, this is absolutely something that's going to affect communities throughout the country. And alarmingly, Florida may be one of, if not the most affected state, given how these migrants, the illegal migrants, were reporting to our guys. Now, our guys are in the Del Rio sector. That's different from McAllen and Brownsville and some of those areas. There is more narcotics going through the McAllen than there is in the Del Rio. The Del Rio seem to have a lot of people coming who were not from Mexico originally. They're from all these other countries. So our guys are doing a good job. It's an important mission. I think they've had a positive impact, but the scale of the problem is so enormous. And having been there and seen it, you see it just being wide open. And so you can't have, Texas is going to end up hitting 1 million illegal border crossers just in Texas very soon, by the end of the fiscal year for sure. But really, you didn't see it ramp up till actually after January 20th. So I bet you the calendar year of 2021 will be probably the biggest on record by a long shot. So it's a really, really significant issue. So we're calling on Joe Biden to help the people of Cuba, and then we're calling on Joe Biden to secure this border and protect the American people.